Masters, welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery, and we are here today. Listen, this is a special treat, man. Seriously, like we're with Mr. Vlad, the one and only Vlad Katz. What's up, dude?
Woo!
Whoa, man, what happened there? I
Now
don't know. Your
that's
microphone went out for a
production,
minute.
man.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining me today, man. Joining us.
Dude, are you serious, man? Like, look, you're one of my favorite humans in this world. We've known each other for such a long time. Like anything I can do for you and your people, dude, I'm there.
Well,
It's my
thank you. I
pleasure.
appreciate that. I like how you wore the jacket. You're a better human being than I am because I just had Grant Cardone on the show about an hour and a half ago, and I had this shirt on, and he made a comment about me not dressing appropriately for. We were talking about mindset and how you got to show up every day, and he just kind of made a point that geez, I showed up with a suit. Some of these other guys show up with T-shirts.
David, I bet Grant Cardone sleeps in a suit, first of all. And
He may.
and now I am even a bigger fan of Grant's.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I just got my
the
ass handed to me, dude. It was insane.
Hey, if it was anybody, it might as well be by Grant, right?
Yeah, I want to break down that episode, but first tell our listeners who you are for people that don't know who you are. I think everybody knows you, but if for the 2 or 3 people on the planet that don't know Vlad Katz, weren't you actually in that movie with what's his name recently? Gosh, I was just telling you about that movie.
Oh my God, what movie was that? Guy Ritchie's movie. Guy
Is that Guy Ritchie's guy?
The director, the Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch. I don't remember the name of the movie, but you told me to watch it, and it's on the list.
It is an awesome movie.
Yes, I was in it, and I don't remember the title.
You look just like the guy that's in it, and it's the guy
from Succession. Succession, HBO. HBO.
But who's the main character? It's the guy who in all the link. Oh, Matthew McConaughey. And the movie is called. God, I can't.
You want me to Google it? Do you want me to Google it?
Yeah, Google it right now, man. Google it because that's your twin, man. Yeah, you gotta Google this.
I'm gonna.
And by the way, while he's googling that,
I can't spell McConaughey, so I'm gonna Google Guy Ritchie. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and listen for you guys listening right now.
The Gentleman.
Yes, thank you. The Gentleman is a tremendous movie. And I'm watching it with my wife, and I'm like, that's like Vlad. That looks just like Vlad. That's Vlad Katz. Even the same demeanor and everything. You got to see the movie. All right. Anyway, besides being like that guy's double in life, what else do you do?
Sorry, Dave. That was awesome. Thank you.
Maybe he's your double. I don't know. Either way.
I am fine being his double. If he's in those types of movies, Guy Ritchie is one of my favorites. Matthew is great too. It's I love those.
That's a movie to watch. I'm not. There's
action,
every
plot twists. It's all over the place. I bet. You just get me excited. Now you talk about Grant Cardone and now Guy Ritchie. I don't even know. If you say Michael Jordan or
Dude,
Tom
Jordan,
Brady.
Come on.
Tom Brady in this conversation. I'm hanging up. That's it.
Dude, Tom Brady. Someone just said to me, we really haven't put it out there yet, but. Tom Brady left the Patriots. Dave Hill left KW. Oh man, that's what's up. I'm like, that's actually a really good kind of a way to, I guess, I don't know, put that out there when the time comes. We haven't even done that yet, so this may be the first time some people find out. But anyway, The Gentleman is a tremendous movie. It's kind of like one of those movies that, and this isn't obviously a movie review podcast, but it's one of those movies that every 10 years or so, just one of those movies comes out that it's just it's that kind of movie, man. It's one of those movies everybody has to watch. It's tremendous. All right. Anyway, done. So you were the #1 recruiter at Keller Williams, I think in 2018, you brought in the most agents.
I think it was 2000. My God, 2016, I believe. Yeah, it was 2000.
Okay.
My second full year. Yep, in that role. Mega agent prior to that, built a short sale team, short sale processing company. You build it to 7th level, it still runs on its own. In today's world, short sale business may be as valuable as it was, back in the day, like when I decided to step into leadership. So I started co-founded the first KW office here in Pikesville, Maryland. Became its team leader, CEO, whatever, manager.
Sure. Yeah.
Depending on who's listening. And took it from 0 to about 400 agents in 35 months. Replaced myself, moved on to expansion, and here I am.
Nice. Well, we appreciate you, and like I said, you're following Grant Cardone today. The guy made me put on a jacket, but it was funny because you said to me when you were getting ready for this, you're like, "Oh, it's video. All right, I gotta put on a jacket." I'm like, "Damn, this guy's even got his game." Like your game is one step ahead of mine. I got to give you credit on that today. Okay?
Dude, today. April 14th.
Yes, thank you.
I will remember it. I will remember it.
All right. You got it. Now listen, Grant, I got to put a jacket on. I was sharing with him how I'm calling. I said, Grant, I'm doing 20X calls and I'm getting 1X result. And he's like, no, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, what do you mean doesn't? He's like, no, because you're not using the right scripts. He's like, you're not saying it. I'm like, all right, that's a good way to look at it. He's like, what you need to be saying to people right now is your house is turning into a liability. So if you're not selling it now, I was like, whoa. He nailed me with that, legit. Like I called the FSBO after and I'm like, dude, you can keep the house sitting on the market yourself, or you need to hire someone like me right now so I can market the house the right way before it does turn into a liability. And the guy's like, he's like, well, let me talk to my wife. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Right now I want to sign up for Grant's coaching right away, man. The guy's no joke.
It's Grant's, I don't know if you'd call it coaching. It's Grant's, like you were talking about the jacket, kicked your butt. And it's freaking brilliant. Because guess what? Times like we're experiencing right now, what worked 2 months earlier ain't gonna work right now. And a lot of people are actually pretending. I almost said thinking, David. They're pretending that things will go back to normal, bro. Stuff ain't going back to normal. There is no normal.
Well, there'll be a new normal.
Sure. But look, the way that our minds work is that we dream about the future, or we pretend that the past is coming back. And you can fall into one of those or both of those. But look, that seller who listed the property pre-COVID is in a different world than when he signed that listing agreement. And in FSBO, they're in a different world than when they had a great idea with their spouse. Let's see what the market brings. Everybody's selling their houses.
Yeah. It's
a totally different world. So I love that his quote unquote coaching, his kick in the butt, is that if we, whether it's salespeople, whether we're recruiters, whether we're business owners, if we're not having those types of direct conversations with prospects, potential clients, whoever, you're actually doing them a disservice. In the same way that the agent that comes in and says, oh, your house is worth not 200, like David said, it's worth 250. I think I can get you 250. Yeah, just because it's your sign.
They're trying to buy a listing, right? So that I love where you're going with this. And so let me kind of put some context to my thinking, and this has been happening for the last 3 weeks. I've been just kind of like this, and I'm embarrassed to say it, Vlad, but almost like this passive kind of information giving. Well, hey, we'll wait for the right time to get your house back on the market. Kind of you know what I mean? Building the pipeline. This is sad, man. But listen, but
it's just a trap.
He kicked me in the butt. Dude, you're like you just said, it's a disservice to tell people, hey, let's wait until we figure this out, because by the time this is figured out, your house has turned into a liability, like he said.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not living in the house.
Dude, it's the reality of today's market. And it's like, look, again, I've known you for almost a decade now. It's so I'm not surprised that you're beating yourself up slightly. But look, what you're doing, and luckily it only lasted a couple of weeks, is like you're just being human. Like most human beings in this COVID world are in hibernation. Okay,
Well, I'm
it's
not
like, all right,
hibernating.
you're
I'm on the
not.
phones. I'm having conversations. I'm just not having the right conversations,
Yeah.
Vlad.
All right,
I
so
think that's what's happening.
your script was hibernating. So all right, so let's go back to what he's saying. You said 20x for 1x results, right? And it's so great that he went straight to inspecting the activities. You know what I mean? Like, I know he probably didn't ask. I don't know if he asked you. Like, I can't wait to listen to this podcast.
Thursday, it's coming out Thursday.
Thursday, like this Thursday,
Yes, this Thursday,
whatever.
yes. And he has a 2-hour training this Friday that I'm jumping on 3:00.
Okay.
By the way,
I won the link. I won the link.
Yeah,
for that.
You got it.
And so he went right into inspecting the activities, right? Whether he trained or whether he asked, it was perfect, right? Because oftentimes we can take actions, not produce the results, but we still keep taking the actions, but the context has shifted. And so the same actions that worked, the same with the sellers. Look, that FISBO that's going to get back to you tomorrow, you could say, or he's probably saying, I just have really bad timing. And here's the truth. If he just listed that house 90 days ago, it would have been sold by now, probably. Like, at least here in Maryland and Baltimore area, like they used to fly off the market, right?
Well, I think the bigger challenge is he actually was listed 90 days ago. His house expired because it was overpriced, and now he's gone to a FISBO. So essentially, he's the guy that took his car to a dealership, right? The dealership couldn't fix the car. So instead of going to another dealership, he brings the car home and says he's going to fix it himself, right? Like, what is the logic in that, right? And now I'm going to slap some sense into this guy, man.
That's it.
I got it. It's my job, man. It's my job.
We owe it to the people around it. Look, I'm having those types of conversations with business owners around me. Like, there's so many folks that are, like, let's see how this turns out. And I'm like, what do you mean, let's see how it turns out? Like, do you see a scenario where it turns out great? Like, I may not be the smartest, like, what's the American saying? I may not be the smartest cookie in the jar, or the sharpest knife in the set, whatever.
I just say I don't have a crystal ball, but I know.
But look, I'm having a hard time seeing a great outcome post-COVID. Like, oh my God. Like,
a great outcome is we can get out of the house and start hanging out outside again, right? I mean, that's,
I'm talking about business. I'm talking about economy.
Sure,
absolutely. I can't wait to hug my mom.
Yeah.
My father-in-law.
Hugging
right?
may be out, but yeah, family hugs are good. But hugging, handshaking, I don't know. That's pastime, man.
That's it. I'm gonna hug you. And
God, I'm gonna be running when I see you, man. That's it. So all right. So anyway, so listen. So everything Grant, that's legit stuff, and that was, to me, this wasn't even what I intended to talk to you about, man. I just got off that. He got me all pumped up. He's got this $1,000 coaching thing. I'm like, damn, I don't really want to spend $1,000 right now, but that was so good. Just that one idea, it was already worth it. It already paid itself off, right? I go get this FISBO. Like, this FISBO is not, he's listing the house with me. All right. It doesn't care what his wife says tonight. It makes no difference. One way or another, he's listing the house with me. Right.
Of course.
It's already worth $1,000. Right.
Yeah.
And I get this for another, I think it's like 3 months of coaching. How do you beat that?
Dude, there's going to be a lot more listings coming your way with that.
No doubt.
And I wouldn't call it coaching. I'd be calling it, butt whooping, ass whooping.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you say that. So we'll go this direction, because you helped me out a lot for the last 6 or 7 months, because I've been doing some recruiting, and I've been using you as a consultant, right? You've been kind of consulting me through, and you're just you just tell it the way it is, man. There's like a no crap no, just like, dude, this is how you're being. And I need that. One of my best coaches when I was a team leader, believe it or not, was Matt Teeter. And
Oh my God, love
Matt
that guy,
Teeter.
of
Yeah, that
course.
guy's an animal. Like
He's-
he called me up and he said, "You know what, dude? I'm not coaching you anymore." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You missed your goal this month." I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, and then I got like super mad at the guy. I'm like, F him. And then I started thinking about it that night. I'm like, how dare him fire me as a client? This is the dead truth. And I said, Matt, what do I need to do to keep you as a coach? He said, never miss your goal again. We did not miss our numbers for 13 months straight.
Dude.
13 months straight. We did not recruit less than 10 agents to that Keller Williams office. All right. That's the kind of coaching I need, dude.
Two things. And look, I know Teeter really, really well. Like Bob Kalinske.
You're similar to Teeter. Your coaching is very similar.
But look, I used to be afraid of that guy. And then we ended up in the same mastermind, team leader mastermind group, and then the same stages and all of that stuff. And I was like, man, this guy is a teddy bear. Like, he's a teddy bear, but he's wrapped in like this.
You think so? I never saw a teddy bear side.
Yeah, I have. I mean, he's like, he's no nonsense. I'm a teddy bear too, by the way.
All right. I know you're a teddy bear, but I don't see it in him, dude.
All right, fair. But look, I'm not surprised he said what he said, because that's the type of coach he is. And the second thing is like, look, also not surprised that then you have 13 months of not missing your goals, because people like you, people like me, when we know that the bar is set high, we're gonna freaking reach it, we're gonna slap it, we're gonna hit it, and then we're gonna put it up higher. So it's I mean, that's Teeter. And look, he did that, but I guarantee you this, David, I bet Matt has had that conversation with more than just David Hill.
Yeah, and you're probably right.
And I bet that there's very few people who then had 13 months.
Well, he told me
those types of results.
It was right when he became a leadership, like he had got promoted to work like directly with Diane or something. So he basically said, I'm cleaning out all my clients. Sorry, I got to get rid of you. And he said to me like 4 months later, he's like, dude, you're the only person that reached out to me and said, what do I need to do to stay? And yeah, I hope he's listening to this. The guy, like, legit, he's probably the best coach I've ever had, and I'd love to keep him as a coach, but hey, listen, it is what it is. And maybe in the future we will coach again. Who knows?
Exactly.
He's a good guy. He gave me what I need at the time, and that's it. So listen, we've been talking about Grant Cardone. We've been talking about Matt. We need to talk about you, man. What are you doing, man? What's the deal? Like, what are you, who are you, man? What do you even do? Like, what's the deal?
Dude, I do what I'm doing right now is contributing to business owners. Okay. And look, that's what I did before Keller Williams. Look, like very few people know, but when I graduated from business school 15, 16, whatever years ago, is the first business that I started was called Mid-Atlantic Small Business Solutions. And it was a small business consulting practice. Now, I just love getting into people's businesses, and most of the time getting into people's grills about improving profitability, about improving their servitude, and about improving their leadership. I just went around it as a complete a-hole. Like I had no idea how to do it, but that was in my heart to do. And I've been doing that ever since. And whether it was then in a software development company or IT sales, or then even like when I started working with a lot of investors during the downturn, or building a short sale processing company and a short sale sales team, it was all about how do I help the people that say that they need assistance get to the next level. That's what I did as a team leader. That's what I did in expansion. I mean, just ask anybody. It was the same thing that just took different shapes, if you know what I mean, right? And so now that I am, on the other side of Keller Williams, now that I'm EXP, I'm doing exactly the same thing. Like, I truly believe that right now, real estate professionals all over the world are going to need something different. And I'm not saying they're going to need EXP. Like, many of them need Keller Williams, many of them Coldwell Banker. It's not about the brand, but there's going to be, today is a different conversation, just like it was for that seller, the FISBO, right? That given where we are right now, things have shifted. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing, which is providing high level advice to business owners that want to succeed.
One thing that, you has always impressed me about you, and maybe you call people out. Like, you'll call me out on shit. Like, oh geez, I just used the S word, but like, so like, I'll be talking to you and I'm telling you, hey, this is what, and you're like, dude, that your being is just off, right? And that's a skill. Like, you're good at, and like, I can do that, but somebody's want to punch me in the face, right, when I'm doing it, because it's like I can turn into a fist fight. But you're able to do it and people are just like, okay, listening. And how do you learn how to do that, to just be so direct with somebody and just tell them the way it is? And I'm guessing some people might get upset about it too, right? Or,
well, I mean, ask Kristen. My wife, right? Like,
oh God, my wife.
So look, for me, there's been a number of things. One is I believe that I've been blessed with a gift to listen for the commitment behind what people are saying. Let me unpack that. So look, like, my daughter, so I have 3 daughters, oldest one's about to be 11, Sloane. And when she says, Daddy, can you help me? It may actually not be about what she's saying that I need to help her with. So I listen for the question. Another way of saying it, I listen to the question behind the question, or the statement behind the statement. And so when somebody's talking, and like, the reason I can call you out, I'll just make it real personal. I'm just kidding. The reason I can call you out is because I know what you're committed to in life. So when I call you out is when I see your conversation is not aligned to that commitment.
Got it.
Okay, and that's what I do with people. That's what I do with people in my life. Now, I have gotten really skilled even to do it with my wife, because there's a lot of history there, so you can't just call somebody out, and she's not as direct as I am, not direct as you, right? But for me, it's like, I know what David Hill is all about, okay? And anytime you start talking about something completely different, I'm just pointing you to that. Like, one of our last conversations, right? Like, I think it like stood out because I was like, I'm not taking this BS. Like, I know what David Hill is about, and you are not going to talk me out of that. Yeah. Because look, people will create their own excuses left and right, David. You know this. Crap. They're like, you spend so much time with people on the phones and in person. People will buy into their own BS. I listen to you as who you told me you are. Like I know why you're on this planet. Like,
I think there's a trust in that too, though. There's something that has to be established or earned first for that to be effective. If you don't have a trust, or I don't know if trust is the right word, but a relationship, I guess a trust is the right word. You tell me.
I'll give you a different word than trust, and trust is really important. You need to have permission.
There you go. Yeah, that's the word.
So I have done it with people who I've met 5 minutes earlier. And all it comes down to is permission. Now, look, I hope that whoever is watching, listening, like, look, here's this. Oftentimes, we go really direct with people to make ourselves look good.
How so?
Like, to be right, to look good. It's like, no, that's incorrect. that was a yellow light, David. And we make it about us. When you make it about the other person and you're not attached to whether they want to hear it, whether they don't want to hear it, okay, you make it about them. Like for me, my conversations with you are real simple. It's like, David's commitment, is he getting to his commitment? Like I know, like, you're big into influence, right? And like sharing your ideas. Obviously, I'm on your podcast. You know, Grant was just on it. Like, you know, like how many podcasts does Grant Cardone go on? It's not like, I mean, that's a big deal in order, like, I can only imagine how long you've been following up with his organization to get him on your, to get him on your podcast. So it's like, I know your commitment through your actions and some conversations that we've had over this decade that didn't have all the BS on them, like a lot of conversations do. And so I look at that and I'm like, okay, he's not doing it. I'm going to call him out. But it's not about me calling you out.
Yeah.
It's about you being called out. And I just reminded you, like in our last conversation, when Tony Robbins came up, it was about, like, I just reminded you who you were.
Sure. Yeah. And I think you just described, you know, also in a way, you know, when we're cold calling somebody or we're calling people, like real estate agents listening to this are calling people right now, and don't make it about you, right? Because it's not about you, it's about them. It's about helping them. It's about bringing value. It's about, you know, bringing, here, I'm calling you to help you. Hey, you want to tell me to pound sand? Well, hey, I'll pound sand, you know, fantastic. I'm sorry I can't help you. Have a great rest of your day, and smile and move on to the next one if that's what it is, right? But we take it so personal because we make it all about ourselves.
That's it.
Right?
You cannot, how I know, like, you know, in real estate industry, we often deal with rejection. By the way, we deal with rejection in life. But how I know is when rejection only occurs if you take it personally.
Yeah.
And so for you, like, I know that you calling that FSBO, you calling that expired, like, you're going to get through and you're going to sell it because you're going to tell them how it is and what needs to be done in order to sell it, not to flower something. We do the same. We can do the same thing with people in our lives. And in today's environment, that's going to be needed a lot more.
Well, I can tell you from this conversation earlier that I'm going to sound a lot different to this FSBO, or I did sound a lot different when I called him today compared to the other 2 times we spoke over the last week and a half, where I was just like, yeah, you know, I'll see if I can help. Let me know when you're ready. You know what I mean? To like, dude, you're going down with the ship. Like, we need to get this thing on the market now. Like, there's no more. Yeah. You need my help. You got a house. As a matter of fact, you have a house that doesn't work for everybody. It's a unique house. We got to find the right buyer. You know, this is not your typical FSBO. And not like, this is a conversation. The guy's like, right? That's a conversation about him, not about me sounding nice and you know, being
wanting to
safe.
Protect yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, here's I'll create this context for you. Who you, like, if you're in real estate and you're making the calls that David is talking about making, the context that you have to take on is that you are an emergency room doctor.
Yeah.
Like, your patients don't have the time to figure that crap out and to ask a bunch of questions. It's an emergency, what's going on.
Well, I can tell you one of the reasons I'm making these calls is because I teach agents how to do it. And I got to experience what
dude, I've been in your classes. I'm sorry to interrupt. I've been in your classes. And it's like,
how am I going to teach this? I have a webinar. I have a webinar this Friday, and thanks to my calls this week and everything I've gone through and this call with Grant, I'm going to be so much more effective. All right. So listen, we're in kind of wrapping up.
I am the same way with recruiting. Like, I love recruiting.
I love recruiting too.
Yeah. So like, I will stay on the calls and have the conversations because like I want to be in it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm a grinder, dude. People have joined. Like we recruited 200 agents in the time I was there, and people were like, dude, like I just came here because you wouldn't leave me alone. Like, dude,
Dude, same here,
like,
man.
yeah, man. So listen, what is the biggest challenge right now you're seeing? Like, tell me what the people listening to this, what's the biggest challenge they're dealing with right now?
In my opinion, it's what you've pointed out is people so two. I'll do two based on what you said earlier. One is they're not taking action. Okay, they're like literally sitting on their butts. Okay. Two is the actions that they're taking are not in line with the current situation. So like I'm in conversations working with some really top producers around the country, multiple brands, whether I'm helping them out or we're talking about something big. And look, I am crazy, like crazy that people are not reevaluating their ROI on everything right now and fast. And I come in there and I'm like, last week we talked about this. I thought that it was already going to be done. And it's like, no, we got to talk. I'm like, no, dude, the ship is, it's like Gary said, I don't know, like a couple of years ago, it's like, you may be losing so slowly that it feels like you're winning.
Mm.
And I'm like, man, that's what's happening. And it's either not taking action or taking actions that are not in line with today's environment.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's nuts. Like if somebody is not reevaluating all the crap that needs to be done in the new environment and then taking 10x, 20x and aligning themselves with people who are taking 10x and 20x and who are looking at the next 12 to 24 months as a huge opportunity, not only to make money, I want to make sure it's not about money, David, but to make a difference.
Mm.
Dude, you want to run away from those people. You just want to run away from those people, man.
Yeah, no, dude, this is the time. I'm fortunate, and I've talked about this on a few episodes, that I started real estate in 2002. And I went through those times of writing offers on hoods of cars and lines of people trying to get, it was easy. And then all of a sudden it just, the brakes were like, like it stopped.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I'm there again. It's really strange. Like the other night, like I signed up for, what's it called? Like friggin' HUDs. I'm doing everything. Like shit, is that the game now? I don't even know. Should I be going back to that playbook? Signing up for REO sites and all this other, but that's what I don't think anybody knows 100%, right? It's crazy.
No, I mean, what I'm advising people is like, look, a lot of people are thinking we are already in a downturn. I actually disagree. We're in that halt phase. The downturn, the severity of the downturn will be determined by how long this COVID scare lasts. And I don't mean just lockdowns last. I mean like vaccine and all that stuff. And only then we're going to start figuring out whether it's going to be 10% decline, 20% decline, or, shitstorm.
Well, I can tell you in our MLS, 75 to 80% of people took their homes off the market, means temporarily withdrawn. I'm guessing, I don't know, hopefully probably half of those will come back. So my guess is what's going to happen is and again, it's just my guess, right? But everyone's going to throw their house back on the market. The market's going to get flooded. There's buyers. Buyers are going to buy up some of the inventory, and then we're going to have a ton of inventory, which has been the opposite of the challenge. The thing that's been keeping the market so strong was low inventory and low interest rates.
Yeah.
It seems like that's probably going to change. It may not. I could be wrong.
Let me add some economic enhancement, if you will, to your educated guess, which I believe is spot on. So two things that determine whether buyers buy. One is consumer confidence, which is in the toilet. No surprise.
It's bad.
It's in the toilet. Yeah. Number two, access to capital. And almost every single bank just raised their lending requirements. Like I just saw JP Morgan Chase go up to 720% down. 700 credit score and 20% down. Now, David, you've been doing this for a really long time. couple of thousand transactions under your belt. So let's just round up, down, whatever it is, right? Out of those 2,000, how many do you think had 720% down? What percent? 10, 20, 30%?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
15%,
Yeah, like, so
20%.
JP Morgan Chase, one of the largest lenders, okay, just said in order for Chase to lend you money on a house, you have to be 700 and have 20% down.
Yeah.
In a country that is ridden with debt, how many people have 20% down? Dude, like,
Yeah.
People today know they don't need 20% down. They're like, oh, like I've sat across from buyers there. I'm like, how much money do you have in the bank? I don't have anything in the bank. VA, FHA.
Sure.
Whew,
Yeah.
that's gonna be.
Well, times are changing, my friend. That's for sure. And
it sure is.
the good news, though, is there's going to be people buying and selling. There's going to be people out there, and we have to find them. And our industry, which is a massive industry of over 1 million people, is just like in 2008, in 2009, it shrunk way down. It went from 1.2 to 600 or 700. I don't know the exact numbers. I think we're at like literally like 1.4 or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're going to see that come way down. That just means more for the people that are good, right?
Exactly.
That's it.
And in times like these, our customers, our clients need top-notch service. And that's where our ability to separate ourselves from the rest of the bunch. By the way, your commission percentage is going to go up. You no longer will have to discount because there's going to be less competition. People are going to be,
I don't discount.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I've been in business for 17 years. You can hire me, who's sold in 15 different markets, ups, downs, lefts, right? Or you can hire somebody who is, a rookie. So
it's kind of funny. When I left Mass to go be a team leader in Connecticut for a couple, year and a half. And when I left, all the agents in the area, not all, but the majority of the co-brokes in the area were like 2 and maybe 30 to 40% were 2.5, right? And I was offering 3 because I knew that by doing that, the agents would fight. So I could explain that to the sellers. So now I come back a year and a half later and all the freaking there's no like 2.5's like gone now. It's crazy. So everybody's like 2. So I'm like, you know what? Well, we'll just offer 2.5. It's the same thing, man. You do that and all the agents are fighting for that extra, like you said, the commissions don't have to go down. Your value proposition needs to go up. That's what we need to be focusing on. So anyway, listen, we're going to get wrapping. I appreciate you, appreciate your time. Like we've been all over the place, man. What would you say? What do you want people to take from this talk today?
Dude, it's very simple. It's what I'm going to do. Listen to David Hill interview Grant Cardone. Okay, like if you're just listening to this one and you missed the other episode, it's Grant Cardone. Like, look, he is the guy that talks about action more than most, and that's exactly what's going to make the difference in the current world, which we live in, and the post-COVID world. Like, if you take anything away, it's like your actions will have to go up. And
love it.
That's it.
Episode 157, my friends. Grant Cardone. Mr. Katz, we're going to get you out there. I'm guessing this will be after the big announcement. So everybody's going to know. The cat's going to be out of the hat, baby. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you, man. The reason I did this is to partner. I wanted to partner with you and Devin and Tina and Sean and all these really cool people. And it's been awesome so far. So thank you for that.
Dude, thank you for the opportunity to like really work closely. And look, you and me have known each other for such a long time now. And, we've helped each other without like, just because we are cool cats and on the same mission. And it's like, it warms my heart. That's the teddy bear in me now. That warms my heart that we're now actually walking on the same path.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
All
right. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you, man.
My pleasure.
All right.